What's going on, everybody? You are tuned into the Hot List. I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Realty, and I come to you on Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. We hang out for a while and we talk about real estate. We talk about real estate topics, concerns, questions, and I answer this during a question of the day. If you're interested in submitting a question of the day, maybe you have a question about real estate, you're not sure where to start, all you have to do is simply shoot me a message through Facebook, YouTube, or the podcast player that you are tuning in on. I will be happy to not only answer that question for you, use that for future content and future episodes just like this one, because if you have that question, the chance that somebody else has that question is extremely high. And the hot list is a way for me to give back, continue to answer those questions, and help more and more people and get in front of more people. Now, the questions are typically from listeners of the podcast, current or past clients, and I've even had my family ask me some questions that I've answered on here as well. So please keep those questions coming. I can't continue to do this podcast without those questions, so I'm grateful to everybody that submitted them, and keep them coming. All right, so the question of the day today: have there been any updates to home loans this year? And while it's not updated every year, sometimes it can change. Ultimately, buying a home is a dream that many people have. However, making that dream come true is not always as simple as applying for that mortgage loan. Some potential homeowners need a little help and assistance keeping the loan requirements manageable, even if they're able to afford the loan itself. Now, fortunately for every potential homeowner and future homeowner, there are a number of home loan programs to make home ownership attainable for so many people. Whether you're a first time home buyer or maybe you're doing this again, you may be concerned that you might not meet all of the requirements, and that's why it's important to stay updated and keep in mind the rules and regulations for the home loan programs are going to be updated from time to time. We saw them change a little bit during COVID, and a lot of that is to not only protect the lenders, protect the buyers, but protect the economy as well. Before you start looking for a home, make sure that you're up to date on the terms of the loan program, and absolutely get pre-approved through that particular program, whatever that looks like. Is that conventional, VA, FHA, USDA, whatever that looks like? Just get pre-approved through that program. It's going to streamline and make everything so much better for you, as well as the entire process. So in order to answer the question, have there been updates? There actually have been, and we're going to cover 3 home loan program updates for 2022. First update we're going to talk about is FHA loan updates. Now, just to recap, FHA stands for Federal Housing Administration, and these are government-backed programs, and this is actually the most commonly used by potential homeowners. It's a great way for that, especially first-time home buyers that may not have the traditional 20% down that people have talked about for years. This is a great way for them to get into their first house. This is actually how my wife and I got our first house, was through a FHA loan. Now, of course, the FHA doesn't offer home loans directly. They have FHA approved lenders for easy access and approval. So you can, it's hard to throw a rock and not hit a FHA approved lender, which is great for potential homeowners and people buying. Lenders are able to help, buyers are able to find somebody to help, and it's great because it is a federal program. The terms of the loans may have to be tweaked from year to year, and what this does is better match the data from other federal agencies, and these are all based on economic trends. So for 2022, there's been a few updates made to the FHA loan program. For example, they made changes to the maximum amount that can be borrowed using a FHA loan. This amount is going to vary based on some local factors. This is not across the entire board of increase. Most of the changes are going to be on the lender side. So talk to your lender and ask them the question. This is not a one size fits all. It's not across the board. So it's going to vary by lender and by location. So make sure that you get with your lender, talk to them, and see what changes they made if they haven't already updated you. The FHA approved lenders have new requirements regarding items like loan reporting, how they handle verifications of applicants. Now, this typically doesn't affect the borrower's experience because this is on the lender's side. It's just a few more things that the lenders have to do because we don't want, or they don't want the same thing to happen that happened in 2007 to 2009 range. Typically for the FHA, the minimum credit score required is going to be around the 580 mark. This is going to vary by lender. Some can have as low as 500 to qualify for the program. Some may require it to be 620, 640. That's going to vary by lender. You need to speak with them and see what they've changed. And then, of course, you have to supply documentation like your pay stubs, bank statements, tax returns. Those are all going to remain the same as previous years. Number two is the loan programs. Like I mentioned, there are more loan programs out there than FHA. The most common ones are conventional VA and USDA. So if you're looking for a loan that's not offered through FHA, maybe offered through some private companies, and these companies may make changes over prior years as well. A lot of these private companies typically will fall in line with FHA requirements. There might be some slight differences, but typically they kind of use the FHA as their guideline, so they know what the minimum requirements are and what they can or should require for a government-backed program or a private program that they offer. There's not many major updates to other loan types for this year. So it's still possible that there are some changes, but you'll have to, just depending on the loan type or the lender itself, you have to speak with them. And fortunately for everybody, finding updates or new requirements, it's not difficult. You just have to typically search the website or contact your lender. They're going to be happy to tell you what the updates are. That's not only going to be better for them, but better for you in the buying process as well. Typically, the updates for the loan programs are released in the fall, so check for any type of announcements or changes around the October or November timeframe. These can be downloaded from the program's homepage or given to you by your lender. either way, finding out about these sooner rather than later can help avoid surprise uh, when it comes time to get your pre-approval. And then finally, number three, finding your home loan. Um, again, just based on the changes and types of loans that are out there and that you qualify for, there are other ones available other than FHA. Every potential buyer is different and may go through the process a little different from, maybe their neighbor, family member, coworker, whatever the case may be. I would just like to throw out here that you can make the process smoother no matter which lender you choose or what type of loan that you choose as well. A couple ways that you can do this in order to just make it smoother, faster, and no matter what type of changes or loan that you do. First one, you can get your credit score in shape. You're not going to qualify for a loan if your credit doesn't meet certain criteria. Low credit score shows that you might be a higher risk for lending, which means you'll either potentially pay a higher interest rate or maybe not be approved at all. When it comes to lending, the major players in lending that are going to be the most popular are depository institutions. So you think where you currently bank, whether it's a bank, credit union, those are depository, or there's mortgage bankers. These are going to be non-depository and standalone. I've got a number of lenders that I have like this, and they are absolutely phenomenal to work with people. Another way that you can do this is also comparing rates. So before you pull the trigger on a lender to get pre-approved, just call them and talk to them. Ask them what are the best can't even talk. What are the best mortgage rates available? Typically, you can either find this online on the institution's website, or when you talk to the lender, they'll have a list of current rates based on credit scores. You can also, I highly recommend asking questions. The one that you want to ask right off the bat is, what's the turnaround time? I mean, how quickly can you get a pre-approval? Can you get it in 24 hours? Is it going to take 3 days, 5 days? Find out, because that's going to be important. Also, what are the down payment requirements? With FHA, is it going to be 3.5%? Is that going to be the minimum? Can you put more down? Are there additional fees for putting any more down? These are all questions to ask. And then one of the bigger ones is ask what the lender fees or closing costs are going to be. These are going to include items like loan origination, points if you have to buy any points to lower the interest rate, appraisal, credit report. I mean, just things of that nature. They're going to be able to give you an idea based on either your max pre-approval or the house that you're looking at. And then, of course, finally is Get PreApproved. Getting a pre-approval letter before searching for homes is incredibly important. I cannot emphasize that enough. I will not show a house to somebody that is not pre-approved. So if they don't show me or email me that pre-approval letter, I will not show them a house, because in this market, you are wasting your time as a buyer to go look at a house before you get a pre-approval. Because if you love the house, it may take you 3 to 5 days, depending on where you go, to get pre-approved. By then, that house is more than likely going to be gone. Also, in a market that is hot like this, many offers may not even be considered if you don't have that pre-approval attached with the offer. Now, I'm not saying the offers won't be presented to the sellers. I'm saying without having that letter, that pre-approval letter attached, it may not be considered, because this shows that you are a serious buyer and looking to close, that you're not just looking to be looking. And of course, like I said, if you do it now, it saves you time, won't get your hopes up, or potentially miss out on your dream house if you don't have the pre-approval yet. So that's it. Those are the 3 updates for home loan updates for 2022. Again, on FHA loan updates, they made a few changes and tweaks, just as they often do. They have changed the maximum amount that you can borrow, and the credit scores. Those kind of fluctuate a little bit. It will vary depending on lender. So make sure that you talk with your lender, ask them what the minimum is. What is the credit score required for that maximum borrowing amount? And, is there a cutoff for a different interest rate? Those are all good to know, and they will be happy to tell you and share that information with you. Second one, exploring other loan programs. Like I said, there are other ones out there other than FHA. Sometimes they will make changes, sometimes they won't. This year, there weren't any major changes announced for the other loan types. You can always find this out. They are typically announced in the fall, like October, November timeframe. So go on their website, talk to your lender. They'll notify you of any updates that you might need to know about and that might affect your buying. And then finding the home loan for you. Talk to lenders, see who's offering what interest rate. Make sure your credit score is on point and in line. And doing this, getting a pre-approval, is going to make the process so much smoother, so much quicker, and will reduce the chance that you miss out on the house that you want or the house of your dreams. So that is going to wrap it up for me. I did include some links in the description for previous episodes. Make sure you go get caught up on those. Also, leave me a review. Send this to somebody that might not know about the hot list, and you would love to send it to them to keep them updated. Absolutely. I greatly appreciate it. The more people that I can get in front of, the more people I can potentially help. And that's absolutely what I want to do and what my goal is. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Williams Realty. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.